Hey everyone, I have a 6-foot stick here. What we're going to do is add some rotational movement with the stick, a little push and pull. So we're going to use the stick into the floor for a stable position and get some pushing and pulling. This is really going to get your slings, your rotational slings going. So we can use this as a workout within a workout, either active recovery between sets. So if your workout for the day is really dominant in just pushing and pulling, use this as a way to get some rotational movements within that same workout. For other people, this may just be a workout entirely on its own, all right? So here I have my 6-foot stick. I'm going to take an overhand grip right about in the midpoint, about shoulder level apart. From here, I'm going to bring my feet together. I'm going to step forward with one foot. On this position, I'm going to load this front leg, and I'm going to have about 80 to 90% of my weight on this leg. So if I take a sideways stance here, this back leg is straight so we get the toes comfortable in extension on the back foot, and I subtly work dorsiflexion on this lead ankle. From this position, I want to make sure my weight is over my front leg. Some people are going to want to rock back because they don't have that core connection between the lower and upper extremities. Make sure your torso is over your lead leg. Pull apart on the stick, and then I'm going to rotate my torso. And when the stick hits the floor, I'm going to give it a little push with this bottom hand. The top hand is reflexively going to pull. You're going to feel your slings activate. Hold that for a few seconds, release, and rotate to the other side. Once the stick hits the floor, give that bottom hand a little bit of a push. All right? Do about 2 or 3 reps to each side. Make sure your eyes and head are turning also. We're very dependent on what we call our vestibular ocular reflex. So that head needs to be able to turn. That's your first motion. Once you do 2 or 3 reps to one leg, go ahead and just switch to the other side. Now we're going to invest some frontal plane movement into our next. Take your feet, nice wide position, same hand grip on the stick. And from here, what we're going to do is I'm going to laterally lunge to my right leg, bring the stick across, and when the stick hits the floor, same thing with the bottom hand. I'm going to push, come back up, lunge to the opposite leg. When the stick hits the floor, give that bottom hand a little push. As you push, you're going to feel your rotational slings, and you're really going to feel this adductor on this back leg. The idea here is to get that pelvic floor really working and be able to get you comfortable with laterally loading each hip individually. Once you've done about 2 or 3 reps of those, we can then go into more of an open chain application of the very first drill. So in this position, I'm going to switch legs, loading about 80 to 90% load on this front leg. I'm going to pull apart on the stick, and I'm going to turn my eyes and head, and I'm going to rotate. As I rotate, the end of the stick is going up towards the ceiling. I'm pulling apart on the stick. When I get to my end range, I'm going to push in on the stick. So I'm going to shorten it until I get back to my center position. Then I'm going to pull apart and rotate in the opposite direction. Make sure you keep your hips underneath you and your weight on that front leg. Push, shorten the stick on the way back. Think of it this way. I want to pull myself into rotation, and I want to push myself back to the center position. On this front leg, as you're rotating, you're going to really feel challenged through that lateral tissue stability of the ankle. Give it a shot, see how it feels. We'll see you guys later.